Hi, I'm Mark Kitching, CEO and founder at eLocate. Today I'm joined by Mark Scheepers, founder and innovation lead of Thai Thermodynamics, one of Thailand's leading manufacturers of insulated and temperature-controlled containers for food and pharmaceutical and retail logistics. Together we'll be exploring how connected container technology is transforming food, pharmaceutical and retail logistics, bringing better visibility, efficiency and sustainability to every stage of the supply chain. So thanks for joining me, Mark. It's a pleasure to have you here with me.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. So Thai Thermodynamics has built a strong reputation in cold chain and insulated transport solutions. How is IoT changing the way that your teams are thinking about visibility, reliability, efficiency in food and pharmaceutical?
Yeah, it's maybe not completely a rethink of what we're doing, but it's complementary to what we try to achieve into the market. Having said that, let me explain a little bit about the cold chain and how we provide solutions. So we have insulated boxes, insulated roll containers. They form a little entity on itself, and that's what we try to keep in control, temperature-wise, maybe even location-wise.
And what sort of product is that?
The idea of the product is to have a container to put in goods, perishables, to put in a cold source, to close it, and then I can move that container anywhere I want it. Just to give you the idea that we started with big roll containers for bigger volumes. But today, as you can see, everything goes towards fulfillment, order online. So the volumes become smaller and the frequency goes up.
And roll containers are the big containers you see at Amazon or big distribution?
No, it's basically roll containers that go from a DC to a store. That's why the retailers were our first customers 20 years ago. And it's now developing into, let's say the smaller distributors, the smaller parcel services, the smaller restaurant chains, even online deliveries where we have smaller boxes, where we have still very much a need for temperature control and mastery of the cold chain itself.
And food and pharmaceutical logistics comes with unique challenges. Temperature, speed, traceability. How does connected containers help improve that situation?
So what is happening is that before when we set up a logistic process, it means that we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you follow that process. If you deliver, for example, you can measure where you start, you can measure where it ends, but in between you don't know what is happening. With better control, with data to guide us, we can become from reactive when there is a problem, we can become proactive, because now we measure, now we know what is happening, and now we can interfere the moment that we need to interfere. That is very important for food in itself, but especially also for pharmaceuticals, where we have a lot of compliance issues. So that's where we're developing towards. With your solutions, with eLocate solutions, we create a foundation of data in the background that will help us developing better logistics solutions.
We've been working together, both companies have been working together on a solution for both reusable containers for both food and pharmaceutical. How has that been going so far?
Well, as you know, I came to you with a question about responsibility. And so let's start with that. Responsibility, it means like, who has the box? The box goes into some sort of a spaghetti of distribution, let's say a distribution network. So where is that box? And who do I use for transportation? Now, if that can be a multiple of transporters, it can be a multiple number of hubs, and it could be a multiple number of trajects from origin to delivery, then I might lose my box very quickly. So that's why we said, like, hey, what can we do to follow that box and to change responsibility from principal to transporter the moment he takes it on. So that's where we were we're starting off with. And then we came to other discoveries, because with your technology, it allows us to go much further than that. It allows us to not only follow the box in terms of who has it, but also where is it geographically. Yeah, so where does it end up? Because we wanted to get it, we wanted to come back. Yeah, it's an asset, it's a returnable asset. So that's number two. And number three is, of course, that we say like, hey, it's temperature control. And the moment we have a temperature excursion, I'd like to know that. That's number one. But also, for example, if the market develops as it goes now, it means that I go to a home address, maybe he's not at home, I need to bring back the frozen fish, and maybe it has been on the road now for too long. I can measure this now. I can be proactive and say like, this one needs to be rechecked, or this one needs to be discarded, or this one needs to go back in stock. So it allows us much more to consider cold logistics as a normal logistic process where we've got all the optimizations like this already. So knowing is being sure. We don't have to guess anymore. We can guarantee compliance and we can guarantee quality. And most importantly for me is that I can also now develop into other offerings, sales offerings. I don't sell just a box, I sell solutions. And maybe solutions will develop with new questions from customers.
Yeah, so outside we're talking about an example of this, which is how this could help a company like Curry Logistics. So what benefits would someone like Curry Logistics get from this solution?
Let's take the Curry Logistics example. What they are doing is a parcel service. So they start with a big truck, and as I said, they might go to a hub, and then they might redistribute to smaller trucks, and then finally they deliver. Now, how do you control temperature the moment you have all these different elements within that whole network? Because the old way of measuring is through maybe a temperature control truck, so I control the temperature of the truck. But now this pallet or this box goes onto the hub, onto the dock, and goes to another truck. And now I need to measure that truck. So I start losing control of the whole process. So that's when I start following up on and tracking my insulated box, yeah, on that level, on a more granular level. I can be much more precise and I can follow this up. So now we have geographical location, we have temperature, and we have responsibility. Now this allows somebody like Kerry, yeah, to start treating cold chain as what they do today with their ambient parcels. So it changes, it will change the whole way of doing cold logistics.
Excellent. And we talk about the efficiency improvements, reliability improvements, but there's one question that is normally the big question these days, is how does this improve the sustainability?
In many ways. Sustainability first, because of our product. Yeah, as I say, I'm not selling solutions, but part of the solution is the product. The product is returnable. It means it's not a foam box that I discard after one-time use. It's going to come back. Okay, so it's going to come back, so it has some value, and I can use it again. I might clean it, and that's it. That's why I need to be able to trace it. It needs to come back. Secondly, at the end of its economic life, yep, I can discard it. Yeah, I can recycle it. That's what we're doing with customers in Thailand. So that's the first part. It's the product. Secondly, we had the Kerry example. We got the optimization now of cold chain in terms of transport, which means if I optimize transport, less fuel consumption, less CO2,
less carbon footprint.
Less carbon footprint. So that's number two. And then I think on the third part is that we can guarantee much better and control much better the product inside the box, because we know, and you will tell me with your technology, that there has been a temperature excursion. So now I can be proactive. We talked in the beginning about that. So I could, for example, I've got a cold source, I could add a cold source. Or I could go back and I put it directly into the freezer. Or I add I take some measures. Maybe the driver even could take some measures, because the idea is he's got some control on his phone with an app. take some measures to avoid waste of the product itself. So you got three elements where we win on sustainability.
So for any company that's looking at a sustainable solution, whether it's pharmaceutical, fruit and vegetables, anything requiring basically temperature control throughout the supply chain, then this is the solution that people need to look for.
It's probably the foundation of where our companies, and we talked about this lengthily, where our companies can help customers or principals to become better, even better at what they're doing. Don't forget, of course, they've got systems running today. They have a lot of experience, and they get things moving, and they don't want to touch that maybe right away. You don't want to break something that works. But for sure, with the knowledge that we've got on logistics operations, the knowledge that we got on the boxes itself, and the knowledge that we got on IT and project management, we can do a design together. We can implement, we can integrate new solutions together with the customer to make things work for the customer.
And how's it working currently within the industry? And what's holding these operators back from implementing solutions like this?
It's not holding them back. I think there are some constraints. And again, one of the constraints, of course, is that once you got an ERP system, you might be locked into that ERP system, and you don't want to have your operators dealing with additional software or additional processes. So you need that integration. So the moment that we can really make that happen for the customer and get some integration done and understand their business. My background is in logistics, operational logistics for the last 20 years. That we put all this knowledge together, and with your team on the IT systems, with our team on the operational implementation, that's the way forward. Now, having said that, that's one thing. That's for bigger operations, bigger principals. Smaller customers, it will be very easy. Smaller customers, they want to start up a little food chain. They will start up with maybe 10 boxes. We can do that. We provide you the box. We provide you the IT facilitation, and you have a solution the next day. You don't have to buy or rent a cold truck. Here you go with an ambient truck. You use our boxes. You know where they are. You know what the temperature is inside. And even you know what the temperature is when you deliver at the customer.
And with this solution, looking forward, so looking into the future, how does this solution advance the industry forward in the future?
We don't even know yet. I think we're scratching the surface. Yeah, and what we are doing with this kind of things, I think it's close to getting into a next stage. It's a step change. Yeah. So, and we would like, and we would invite, we have this first idea, which I think is very useful. As we said, it's not only sustainable, but it's also reducing cost. So that's one thing. It's increasing quality, and it's sustainable. So it has all the elements to start up with, and with that, we want to discover what we can do after this, and we want to bring the whole cold chain to a next level. And my dream, my idea is to put in a plug-and-play cold chain. So I have a box. You don't have to worry about the rest. You just give it to a transporter, and we will always know. I mean, the transporter, of course, will need to download some sort of an app on his mobile phone. We connect all the dots, and we will always be able to even follow 3 boxes of the customer. So this is the starting point, and the rest is up to our imagination.
And you see with things like AI, so predicted supply chains, that we can adopt this to enhance basically the future of cold chain supply?
Of course, because I've been talking a lot about daily operation, but at the same time, you're also harvesting a lot of data. And with that data, there's a lot we can do in terms of maybe product control, but even marketing, route optimization, etc. So that's why I'm saying like this foundation is needed to get to next steps that we, even with AI, we can, or especially with AI coming up now, that we can analyze very quickly and can put into motion and can put into new results and new operations very, very quickly.
Yeah, and for our team, we are very, very excited about working together to create these solutions and understanding the new solutions that we didn't even think of. For yourself, what's exciting you most about the collaboration?
I think opening up and creating the ability to optimize the cold chain as we would like it to. I think that's for me a very important part of it. You know how you would like to do it. I know the constraints in operations, but how can we overcome these operations? And by talking to Elocate, I now suddenly see like, oh yeah, we can do this, right? As if we, I mean, it's not for the sake of technology that we put in technology, but technology to serve the operators and technology to serve the customers and technology to reduce waste and optimize cost. That is something that now becomes, let's say, reachable. Yeah, we can really put this into motion now. So I'm looking forward to start working with you guys on the next projects that we have on the line. But it will not stop there. I mean, every customer might have slightly different requirements. And I think with the flexibility of a plug-and-play cold chain, of our boxes, of your technology, there's a lot of questions that we can answer, and we will keep on answering in the coming future. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much, Mark. Today's been a pleasure to have you here, and much appreciate
You're
you
welcome.
spending your time to
Yeah.
tell everybody about what's happening
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what's possible.
Yeah,
And
possibilities are endless.
yes, and we're just starting.
And we're just starting here. We've got, of course, some good feedbacks. And again, let's do one step at a time. But a lot of steps are already done.
Yes.
But there's still many to come.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you very much,
Thank
and
you.
a pleasure today.
Thank you.
Thank you.